How do you scale your business without getting trapped in a race to the bottom, such as lowering your prices just to attract more customers? You see, many believe that high ticket is the only solution to charge premium prices and have higher margins. And while it's a fantastic strategy, it's ultimately not the final answer for everybody. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. All we do is talk about growing your business using direct call funnels. It's what I use for my business and some of my clients where we've seen tremendous success, such as Shane from $40,000 a month to over $120,000 a month in 3 months, or Ben that we took from $7,000 to $100,000 a month in 3 months, or Alex at Deal.ai from just about $0 to $250,000 a month in 60 days. And so if you like content like this, well, subscribe and hit that like button so that other people can find it, and check out some of the other videos on the channel. Now, let's talk about something that most people don't discuss, which is that not every business needs to be high ticket. And in fact, sometimes it's actually the opposite of what you need for your business. And it might sound hypocritical because I myself have been in the high ticket space for over 7 years now, having worked just about every position under the sun, spending majority of my time being a closer, now business owner. And I used to believe that charging high ticket prices was the only way to run, grow, and scale an online business. But today I want to break that myth, and I want to tell you the story of one of my clients, Petra, who got incredible results with high ticket, but ultimately found a home someplace else. We're going to talk about where her business was at in the beginning. You see, she started with exhausting challenge-based launches, where it was massive booms, a lot of stress, and then quiet moments wondering when her next dollars are going to come. And this story is a powerful example of how what works for you might not work for somebody else, and vice versa. So if you're trying to scale your business without sacrificing your sanity, well, stick around as we talk about where she was at when she started, what her journey looked like, and actually her success she saw with high ticket, and then where she ended up ultimately. But more importantly, how you can use this story to understand what makes for you. Let's dive in. Originally, Petra Fitness used to be a challenge-based business, meaning there was a period of time where they would launch their product to the public, but prior to that launch, they would build a ton of hype and anticipation across all of their social media channels. I actually first found them because they were wanting help doing one of their launches, and we ran paid ads together. And believe it or not, using ads to bring more people into the hype of their launch resulted in a 25x return on ad spend. Yes, for every $1 they spent, they got 25 of them back. Now, you might be thinking, if that's true, why not just do that nonstop? Well, believe it or not, I have a client currently who has come to me with a similar circumstances. They were making a 20x return on their ad spend, but challenges are incredibly draining because they require a lot of uptime, participation, a lot of promotion and planning. It's like when your favorite movie comes out in theaters. You see, there's all the hype that goes prior to the movie launch. Then there's the day where it reaches the box office, and that's where most of the money is made. 80% of it, I would say, is in that first launch week for challenges and for movies. And then after that, the rest just comes over time as people just kind of trickle and find their way to it. And then eventually it stops altogether. And this just created periods of insane amounts of stress prior, during the launch, and then stress when money would stop flowing in like it did a couple weeks prior. And so that's when we decided to make a pivot into high ticket, something that proved to be more sustainable and would allow them more money. And believe it or not, it worked well, incredibly well, to say the least. The first month of making the shift into the high-ticket business model brought a huge improvement in terms of predictability and sustainability. In fact, the first month where we launched this back in January of 2024, Petra achieved over $250,000 in brand new sales. Yes, $250,000 in one single month. And this was a blend of not only just the high ticket, but we also had some of their other products in there as well. And so we were cross-selling, upselling, downselling, just doing anything to monetize the traffic that was coming our way. And while it was a massive win and definitely more sustainable the months prior, where we didn't do $250,000 again, but we hovered in 6 figures down into 5 figures, we soon realized that high ticket does require more work per client. It's a much higher touch point way of operating and executing, because when you charge more, they're going to expect more. And I deal with that currently with my own business. And despite the constant cash flow, Petra just decided to ease up on it. It created a new burden, which was having to have support and success people that were going to handhold customers through on the promise of the product that they purchased, compared to when they're doing lower to mid-ticket challenge stuff that was fairly hands-off. And while the business was growing, we felt that high ticket just wasn't really aligned with their long-term goals of what they wanted their business to be and how they wanted their lifestyle to operate and the kind of company that they wanted to build. And that's when we made a shift into finding the perfect hunt. And we moved the focus of the business back primarily to their low ticket offerings, but no longer doing the challenge funnel like we did before. They still do challenges from time to time, but the vast majority of their revenue comes from their evergreen mid and low ticket products. In fact, they have a community that makes them over $50,000 a month in recurring revenue. And the shift that they made was, instead of going to high ticket, making more money like they were with their challenge months predictably, was just finding a more predictable way to achieve their mid ticket, low ticket revenue in a more evergreen model or evergreen fashion. And well, that actually meant the end of our partnership partnership together didn't mean the end of their business, and I still wish them very well to this day. Because for them, the low-ticket model just required a lot less work. See, when you charge somebody for $50 to $300, maybe up to $500 maximum, they're not going to expect to get a lot of your time, and they're not going to expect instant results because they've spent a sizable amount of money, but not all their money in these instances, or needed to go into actual debt to purchase what it was that was being offered. And that's precisely what suited their long-term business goals. And so Petra's journey shows us that it's not a one-size-fits-all approach to seeing success running an online business if you're a coach or consultant. See, they found their sweet spot by just removing the thing that they didn't like from their business. They didn't like the inconsistency of challenges. They didn't like the stress of high ticket, so they found a way to just do evergreen, mid-ticket, low ticket. Now, while the answer seems so simple when I paint it out like that, hindsight is often 20/20 because it's harder to see what you're dealing with in the moment because the consequences are much greater. You see, when you're making these kinds of shifts from challenges to high ticket, you're predominantly thinking about the kind of money that you're making, not thinking about the kind of life that you are living. And that's a place that most business owners get stuck. But it's an important thing to consider is what kind of business do you want to build? I had a really great mentor of mine who runs a company that does multiple 7 figures a year that he said, probably the best way to run most companies is as a lifestyle business, not the aggressive startup hyper growth trying to take over markets and win market share. Just focus on making enough cash that you're able to meet your needs or your family's needs and have enough money banked over that you can travel and sleep soundly at night. So keep an open mind. Just don't blindly follow whatever marketer or high ticket person is saying that they're for you to do. While I love direct call funnels, it's important you know everything that goes into running a direct call funnel. So that way, if you choose to partner with us, well, we can have a better working relationship. So if you're looking for more videos like this around the best path or approach that you can take to scale your business, well, subscribe and check out some of the other videos on my channel where we talk about exactly that, how to see success as an online coach or consultant, more specifically, how everything compares to what is my favorite way of getting clients, the direct call funnel. That's allowed me to go from 0 to 100,000 a month with a brand new offer in a brand new market. If you're ready to build a system or have one actually build one for you, well, click that first link in the description and set up a time to speak with our team. That's all for today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.